If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathis. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Kevin Costner joins us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad, good morning to you. How are you?
George Lopez joins us right now. George, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What lovely to talk to me. Funny lad.
Megan Trainor.
Thank you so much, Brad. You're awesome.
Chloe Bailey joins us. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Brad Gilmore! Well, she's joining me now to talk about her new memoir, Uptown Girl, a memoir. She is a generational icon, not just of her generation, of every generation. She's graced the covers of magazines. You see her in film and television and on the stage as well. The one and only Miss Christie Brinkley joins us this morning. Christie, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. A little hoarse, all the talking on my book tour, and the allergies here in New York are really, like, everybody sounds like me right now here.
You know what? Look, we appreciate you taking the time. I know the book tour is crazy. Having to promote these books are always a task. But let me ask you this, because this book is an amalgamation of years of journals and stories, obviously, from your life and career. But let me ask this. What's the title? The title is Uptown Girl. Was that always going to be the title of the book? Was there ever any other alternates, or did that just seem like it can't be anything else?
Oh, I had a list this long of titles, but ever since I was asked to do a book, and I sort of started one when I was around 30, and the title of it back then, the person that I was co-writing with said, it's going to be Uptown Girl. Everybody, as soon as I went into HarperCollins, my publishers, they said, great, and the title will be Uptown Girl. So I'm just going with it.
Well, you know what? It's worked out.
At first, I was like, I'm more of a beach girl than an uptown girl or a country girl, but it is what it is.
So when you're going through this book, I just wrote one myself and published a couple weeks ago. And look, I enjoyed the process of putting together a book, but it's probably the hardest thing that I've ever done. A lot of painstaking hours rereading the same passages over and over again. Did you find that you enjoyed the process, or did you have a similar experience to me?
Oh my goodness. Well, I started the book and I realized I needed somebody to help me a little because I was never going to get anywhere. So the first person that I hired was a guy, and I've kept meticulous journals for over 50 years. So my stories are really intact. But he was changing them and making them sound like it was a guy talking. So after several months of working together, I decided to scrap it all and start again. And then I found a woman to work with, and named Sarah Tolan, and she really got what she got me. She got my life. She understood it. She felt it. And then we were able to really zip through things and really zero in on it. And there was a lot of the rereading and rewriting, because sometimes I would just say, no, I like it the way I had it. And I would, rewrite it, and I would add back in my references and, put it exactly the way I'd want it. And then I'd say, I deliberately it's grammatically incorrect for a reason. Leave it. Don't let anybody correct it. Like if you say something like, and I ain't going back, I wanted it to stay that way. So yeah, there is a lot of that. And because I was now coming from behind my schedule, everything was high pressure because I was behind schedule. And halfway in the book, I was already at my word count. Did you have a word count for your book?
I did, of course, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So they were loving it so much, though, that they expanded my word count. But I still knew that there needed to be a certain economy of words. And so, like, when introducing new characters, hey, Lionel, stop whinging. Sorry, my dog is speaking to me. So there needed to be like a real economy of words. So sometimes I would introduce a new character, and then the proofreaders would say, we need to write about that person. When you give the name, we need to give a whole description, and it's taking up too many words. So I would have to scrap people's names here and there when I thought it would add to the story, but I couldn't because of the word count. So there's all kinds of things that happen behind the scenes that, you're not aware of until you actually do it yourself, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure, because I think a writer is always writing, even when you turned in that final manuscript, you were thinking, oh man, but if I only had another 6 months, I could really get it out there. But I'm sure you're really proud of what's hit the shelves.
I am. And people really are appreciating that it's a beautifully written book. It really is. And I'm very proud of that. Sarah and I worked really hard to make it beautiful, because I see the world with, so much beauty in my prism, in fact, women who follow me on Instagram say since following me, they have started to notice things about the world that they'd never noticed before. Whether it's, the underside of a flower, or just taking time to appreciate the clouds in the sky, the sunsets, the sunrises, just all the magic and beauty that surrounds us. So I wanted to capture all the magic that happens in a day, and really encapsulate that with beautiful words and poetry, or quoting like one of my favorites, Joni Mitchell, who gave me permission to use a couple of her lines in the book. So it is a beautiful read.
The book is called Uptown Girl, a memoir. Christie Brinkley joins her right now. Now, Christie, I have to ask you this before I let you go, because my favorite musical of all time is Chicago. I've gone to New York several times to see it. I've watched the DVD incessantly of the movie, streaming the film from the early 2000s. And of course, sometimes I just casually start singing the soundtrack in my day-to-day life. So this is a big musical for me. You played Roxy Hart several times, dozens, hundreds of times. What did that musical experience mean to you? And what was your favorite number to perform from Chicago?
Oh my goodness. I had the time of my life doing that show. I'm so happy to hear that you're a fan of Chicago, because so am I. From the day that I was asked if I wanted to play Roxy or Velma. I was so stunned because I had gone to see the play with my family when it first came out with Anne Reinking and that version of it. And I remember thinking, what an amazing show, and these amazingly strong, tough broads, that were so sexy and strong. And the show came to me as I was literally going through a divorce, the nastiest divorce ever, and being belittled and berated regularly by my ex in the press, and to be able to put on my Roxy outfit, my little bouncy Roxy wig, I became her. I escaped my life. I would enter that theater as me, like so excited to put my hand on that backstage door and walk into that backstage area and say hello to the dressers and the wig people and find my way up to my little dressing room. And then I would transform into Roxy, and I would just leave my world behind. But all of the stress and frustrations that I was feeling, I could channel it right into Roxy as I'm stomping my feet and going across that stage and, letting Amos have it for, telling the police that I murdered my lover, she was so much fun to play. And to choose a favorite number is like, asking me to choose a favorite child, because each one of them, those numbers are so fabulous in their own way. It was a joy, and I loved everybody in my cast. Backstage was as fun as on stage, because we never stopped singing and dancing. In the hallways in the back, we're like really rowdy and fun, and the whole experience was just pure, solid joy.
Thank you, Christie, so much for joining us. We really appreciate you.
Well, thank you.